Okay, let's go ahead and get started. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. We have a mic in the room, so please ensure you are using the mic each time you ask a question. If you're joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for the questions. We will address questions in the room first and get to Zoom if time allows. Recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Now let's open it up to a statement from Coach Williams, followed by questions for the players. We will hold questions for the coach until the end.
Okay, this is not how we wanted today to end, no doubt about it. I think before the game, if you would have told us that we were going to hold Oregon State to 61 points, we probably would have taken that. I think we had a pretty good defensive game plan and defensive effort today, but just they made things very difficult for us on the other end, and it was not our best offensive showing of the season. That makes it really tough for it to end that way, but I'm so proud of this team. I've enjoyed the ride with them so much, and so this is bittersweet. I told myself I will not get emotional in this press conference, so I'm going to try to stick to that, but just the thought of not going back and practicing on Monday, it's breaking my heart a little bit. Love these girls so much, and just so proud of the mark they've made on our program and set the tone and bar for us moving forward.
Questions for Jazz and Alexis?
Lex, they got up 19-6 in the first quarter. What did you learn early in the game that was going to be really hard to do against Oregon State?
Yeah, I think we talked about throwing the first punch and playing from behind, especially on their home floor, is super difficult. And I felt like we really fought till the end, but just that lead, we would cut it smaller, but it just was too big from the jump.
Jazz, what did you guys do defensively that allowed you to get back in the game there by the start of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we just played a little more aggressive. Our communication was really good on the defensive end. I think we locked into the scout and we kind of knew what was coming and where we could help from and where we could take to, and I think we just communicated and executed well.
Jazz, what has your time at Nebraska meant to you?
Yeah. It's meant everything. What type of question is that? It's not fair, is it? No. Not fair. No, I'm just so happy I got the chance to play under Coach Williams, to play with these girls. Everyone that I've met along the way has been an incredible person. She's helped me believe in myself. Yeah. It's meant a whole lot, and I really found who I was, and I've benefited so much from being at this university.
Lex, what do you respect about Oregon State and what they do athletically, inside, outside?
Yeah, they're pretty deep, really athletic. I felt like they were blocking a lot of shots, making a lot of things difficult. I felt like today just I think in our wins we averaged 18 assists, and I think that was a little bit lower today. They just were not really overhelping. Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah.
Lex, what was it like to be Jazz's teammate for the last couple of years?
I'm really gonna miss her. She's just an amazing person. She's so humble. Thank you for taking your 5th year to come back. I know this team and program are really gonna miss her, especially the fans. I mean, she is so talented on the court and a really great passer, which I benefited a lot from, but just a better person off. She just is a really good person, and I'm going to miss her a lot, but she's going to kill it. I'm excited to watch her. on our next journey.
Are there any other questions for the players? No? Jazz, Alexis.
They got what they wanted.
Thank you so much. The Nebraska locker room will be open for about 25 more minutes following this.
They're just going to leave the ugly crier up here. So.
Now we can open it up for questions for Coach Williams.
Nick Daschle from the Oregonian. What specifically did, with Oregon State's defense, caused you problems?
Well, I think that, as Lex said, they had 10 blocked shots in the game. And so they have kind of a versatility because they have power and size inside that can really bang you around and can be physical. They have length where it's kind of tough to go up over the top of them. And then they can bring in and mix in some speed. And so I think those things all in conjunction, it's hard to really get used to because of the versatility, and they can run different lineups in and on both sides of the floor. I mean, you know you're going to get powered in the paint with Reagan Beers, and then all of a sudden they could play Gardner at the 5, and she can pick and pop and score threes. But that same versatility on the defensive end I thought was really disruptive for us today, and they just kept kind of mixing some things up. I think the 10 block shots made us a little hesitant to go in the paint and do what we do, and that's, we try hard to get paint touches.
KZI, Cameron Derby. You guys also held them to long scoreless stretches. I think they went 6.5 minutes in the second quarter, somewhere around 3 minutes in the third quarter, and then their three-point shot popped open there at the beginning of the fourth. Did they make any adjustment that you saw that allowed them to get those shots off and get it rolling?
I thought that we got some defensive stops there in the third quarter. We really needed to capitalize on the offensive end. We just couldn't put the ball in the basket to really capitalize. But there were some stretches in there where they took shots that were open that we did not want them to have. They just missed them. And then in the fourth quarter, I thought, I don't think our defense was off. It wasn't, we didn't have a ton of missed assignments, but maybe just got a little separated from a couple of their shooters further than we wanted to. And they hit some, like 3 in a row, it seemed like right there, and gave some momentum.
Nick Daschle again from the Oregonian. Coach, you've played teams like Iowa and Ohio State. How would you compare Oregon State to some of the better teams you've faced this year?
Yeah, this is obviously on their home court. They're a really dangerous team. It's just a tough place to come in here in this type of environment and be able to play. And so we've been in some pretty hostile environments this year, and I think just going on the road like this is really, really difficult team to beat.
Austin Norman, 93.7 The Ticket. Coach, what are some of the lessons you take from tonight as you look to next year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have plenty of time for that. To really look and kind of take the things that we think we can really pull from this experience and be able to use that to motivate the players that are currently going to be returning in this program. But right now, it's just so sore. It's just so tender. Just thinking about the ones that are not going to be able to continue that journey with us. And so that's kind of right now where our focus is at.
Okay, and we do have a question on Zoom from Brad. So Brad, if you want to ask your question.
Yes, hi, Coach. Congratulations on a great season. Last year, your program went to the WNIT. Can you speak of when during this season, with all that tough Big Ten play, that you knew the team was experienced and battle-tested enough to make a run in the Big Dance?
I know this is not going to sound like the normal answer. I think, most of our players point to the Iowa win at home when we beat Iowa as a big turning kind of. But for me, it was on the road at Kansas before Christmas. And we had a tough loss to Kansas, and that ironically was the place where our season ended 1 year ago in the WNIT. And we sat in that locker room for quite a bit of time after that game, and the comments that were coming out of each one of my players' mouths at that moment was when I knew that this was a special group that was going to be fighters and fight through this entire season, and that we had a chance to be something special. And so for that to come for me after a loss is pretty special. I think it's telltale about this team and their character and what type of people they are and what type of things they will become as they face adversity in their lives moving forward.
Are there any last questions? No. Thank you, Coach Williams.
Thank you.
Hammond Communications will post